Hi guys, this is math lesson 14-4 going over fourths. So if you'll be on page 599 and follow along at the top, it says Ian makes a pan of lasagna for 4 family members. Which ways can he cut the lasagna so that everyone gets an equal share? And then if you look on your page, it has A, B, C, D, okay, with a rectangle, and it has how he divided each lasagna tray. If there are 4 equal shares, then a shape shows fourths. So just like halves and just like thirds, it has to be even. Each section has to be equal, okay? So there are 4 fourths and 1 whole. So just like there were 3 thirds to make a whole, there are 4 fourths to make a whole. So if we look at A and B, okay? So look at A and B, okay? You can see that there's 4 equal shares in each. So in A, each person's going to get like a rectangle. In B, same thing, a longer rectangle. So those are all equal. If you look at C, there are 4 pieces, but they're not equal. Okay, so for C, you can see that there's 2 small squares and then 2 large rectangles. So yes, there's 4 pieces, but they're not equal. So that is not divided into fourths correctly. And then letter D, that is equal, 4 equal shares. He just divided them horizontally. Okay, so A, B, and D are the ways that he can correctly divide the lasagna into 4 equal shares. Okay, so number 1, it says to split the circle into 4 equal shares. So I have drawn the circle here. I just pretend that it's a nice even circle. Okay, so we're going to divide this into 4 equal pieces. So we're going to do a line straight across, or straight down, and then a line straight across. Okay, each share is 1 blank of the whole circle. Each share is 1/4. So this is a 1/4, that's a 1/4, that's a 1/4, and that's a 1/4. It all equals 1 whole circle. So each share is 1/4 of the whole circle. Okay. On page 600, go ahead and pause the video and do numbers 2, 3, and 4. All right, you had to decide if the shape shows fourths. Circle fourths or not fourths. So number 2, hopefully you circled fourths. Number 3, not fourths. And number 4, fourths. Number 5, you had to draw 2 different ways to show fourths. So I, again, did your rectangles. So remember, fourths, 4 equal pieces. So one way, we can do a line going across and a line going down, okay? So each section would have 2, 4, 6 squares. So that would have 6 little squares. This would have 6 little squares, 6 little squares, 6 little squares, okay? Another way, you could do lines going across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 equal pieces. Problem solving number 6. Garrett draws a rectangle on dot paper and splits it into fourths. Each share is made up of 5 equal sized squares. How many squares make up the whole? Well, if this is what he drew, just pretend that there's 5 in each. Okay? So for counting 5, 10, 15, 20. So in his rectangle, there would be 20 total squares. Number 7, how are halves, thirds, and fourths the same? How are they different? Well, they're all the same because they all show equal parts. Okay? So let me get a different color. So all show equal parts. Okay, if you're doing halves, it shows 2 equal parts. If you're doing thirds, it shows 3 equal parts. And if you're doing fourths, it shows 4 equal parts. And that's how they're different. Halves show 2 parts. Thirds show 3 parts. And fourths show 4 parts. So they're the same because they all show equal parts. They're different because halves only have 2 parts, thirds only have 3, and fourths have 4. Okay? On page 601 at the top, it's the same example of the lasagna drawings. Okay? So at the bottom, we have 3 more practice problems. I would like for you to pause the video and do those 3. All right, you had to decide if each shape shows fourths. Circle fourths or not fourths. So number 1, hopefully you circled fourths. Number 2, hopefully you circled fourths. And number 3, hopefully you circled not fourths. Okay? Page 601 is the homework. So please do that, and I will check it with your packets. Thank you.